Hey TDA, and today we're playing some more Brave New Wonders. I'd like to thank the developers for sponsoring yet another video, and I'm having so much fun with this that honestly I can just not stop playing, because this game, look at this factory. It looks awesome, it looks so organized. I have a secondary facility over here, then I have some other facilities. I have some gun producing facilities over here. My fuel is being produced over here, but most importantly, I can now start working on my airship. So if you missed the first episode, go back to that one. It should be in the same playlist. I played through the entire starting island, but now the time has come to go and explore the big map. Because we have access, we are now currently in America, and we can go to Europe, or at least the island that is supposed to represent Europe. And we can do that by means of this airship that we can board. And look at this, I have a little bit of fuel production on this thing. Well, not fuel production on the actual ship, actually. We're just importing it over here. And we have this engine over here where we need to put that in. Now the weird thing is that this engine will just consume the fuel whenever there's fuel in there. So we definitely need to set up a behavior to make sure that we only request fuel when we actually need it. Is that true? No, actually, let's see. So we have this fuel meter over here. It's filled up a little bit, so it might actually have been consuming the fuel that I put in here. That would make a bit more sense. So hold on, let me check. If I put a mover to move things from A to B. Okay, so it is burning the fuel, but it's actually just charging up the fuel over here. It's actually burning the fuel very fast. So let's just go into the blueprint mode and select this thing, just copy and paste it, and that should make it a little easier to just produce this a little faster. Now, I've been warned by the game to make sure that I bring some protection. This ship might actually get attacked. Now, I can just shoot things myself, so I'm not entirely sure how much protection we need. But we have the space available, so we might as well just bring some resources to go along with us to the new island. So what's interesting about this ship is that it actually has a shared stockpile. I can build multiple of these stockpiles if I want, but as you can see, for example, right now, I have 600 of 800 capacity used. If I just build another one, it stays the same, and both of these actually have the same inventory. So, yeah, we actually have to think a little bit about what we're bringing, although 800 space is quite a bit. But for the moment, let's just bring fuel and ammo, I guess. That's the... I don't know, the things that I was recommended to make, let's put it like that. I'm also going to put a smart mover to move some ammo from this stockpile to this thing. And then let's go into the building mode and let's duplicate this thing. But rather than supplying that one, let's supply this turret instead. Anything else I should be building on this ship? I actually don't know. Let's just command the airship to go to the other side of the world. Specifically, let's go to Europe. Now, how do we do that? I actually don't know. Move to here. Are we ready to depart? I don't know if I'm ready. We're going to find out. Now, this ship is not particularly fast, as you can see, but it will start moving faster as soon as it turns around. It was just undocking now, I guess. And look at that, we are flying across the sea, and you can see how long it will take us to actually get to Europe. And remember, I can just program my ship to fly up and down with materials and things like that as well. Is that gonna be needed? I don't know. I've played this exactly 0 times so far, so you're finding out along with me. Uh-oh, I'm under attack, and that's a lot of ships. Ooh, my turret is actually gonna be shot down like that. I shouldn't be having too much issues just killing this stuff by myself, though. Oh, hold on. I was taking a fair amount of damage there. Not sure why I got stuck. Stop destroying my robots! Okay, well, note to self, I need some more turrets, so let's build a few more. Alright, next time we have twice as much defense, and that should probably be enough, especially if I help defend myself as well. But let's disembark, because we now have arrived in Europe. Please ensure you have the necessary preparations for your expedition in your backpack. I just don't know what that is. Once you disembark, it might take a while before you can go back to your airship. Okay. Well, I have a fair amount of all the basic building resources. I just don't know exactly what I'm gonna need. So, once again, let's just disembark and find out. This is Europe. It's freezing. I can't imagine people actually live there. But if no people lived here, who made these steels? Yeah, well, definitely. This looks like a nice little building area. Oh, and I'd better build another airship hub or I'll be stuck in this land forever. Ah, okay, so I'm not sure how we disembarked and where the plank went that we just saw, but apparently it's not here anymore. I need thermoplates and kits in order to do that. Oh, look, I actually have enough of those. I don't quite have enough thermoplates, mostly because I think I just spent a lot of that on building defenses. Yeah. Okay, well then I think we can either set up some production over here. Let me remind myself what I need to produce thermoplates. I need, I need thermoplates to actually build the advanced factory to produce thermoplates. That's gonna be a problem. Okay, well, in that case, let's just drive around with it. What's this? It's a powered gate, and it only needs a little bit of power to be enabled. Okay, well, that should produce enough, right? We need to hook it up with a power pole, apparently. Look at that. We can open the gate up. I wonder if we stop powering it, does it just close down again? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's move in here. We have an helium gas geyser, okay, and we have, oh, simple kits over here and metal plates. That's always useful. We have some metal over here as well, so okay, that's kind of nice. And I'm also being attacked. Okay, hold on. There we go. My buildings will repair themselves, by the way. Am I in a hostile zone? I can't quite tell. Is this glowing red? It might be. So that might explain why I'm getting attacked, because enemies are spawning. So just to be safe, let's just dismantle this. Does the gate close again? Doesn't look like it. So now we're just free to explore without getting attacked. Well, I just ran into another gate that needs quite a bit more power. So let's keep exploring. There's quite a few robots around, although none of these are really a threat. I can easily dodge. Well, he says, as he failed to dodge. But as you can see, I repair the damage, no problem. So these guys aren't a real threat. These are all going to die in one shot. The larger ones take a few more hits, but yeah, nothing of this is really a problem. Oh, look, thermoplate. I think now we have everything we need to repair the hub. Okay, so let's throw in the hub stuff, and there you go. Now I can board my airship again. I can fly right back to where I came from if I need to. But of course, that's not really what we want to do. I have some building materials still over here. So now the real question is, what are we going to do? I can just start building a factory over here, which I probably should at some point, but I kind of want to know what I'm aiming for. So not quite done exploring yet. Let's keep going. I really like the fact that we have a nice little other biome over here. I definitely need some power, so let's think about that for a moment. What do I need to have power? Either a lot of these basic materials. Honestly, this is already enough, I think, to open this gate, or I need to build a couple of power plants, which I cannot do. Why can't I build over here? For some reason, I can't build in the snow. Oh, that's interesting. So I need to build on these metal plates rather than on the snow for some reason. Okay, that's gonna be a little bit more of a challenge then. And wow, there's a lot of things. I was kind of distracted by the giant robot in the back there. It doesn't seem to be attacking me, so let's clear out these smaller units. Let's see, that was all of them, I think. Let's loot them. And then let's see what this is all about. This is a giant, like, humanoid robot. A giant human-shaped automaton, I think. But why is it so huge? Insufficient power. If I get some power, will it say more? Well, this is Hixie. Is that what it's called? Okay, we need to give it more power as well. Okay. So how are we... okay, hold on. So, first of all, there's some more loot here. Let's bring that. Oh, that happens to be the exact stuff I need to build more energy, so that's quite convenient. It's like the game is telling me what to do. But yeah, I also kind of need to build some power poles here, I think, to make sure that I can actually connect this up. And you can see there's some plates over here that happen to be at a convenient distance, so I can actually hook up all of these power poles. Is this gonna connect? Apparently it is. That's a longer distance than I thought it was gonna be. Where can I build it? Over here. Okay, let's complete that. And let's build power over here. Can I build any power production here? It doesn't look like it. Although I could probably just set up some power stations over here, but I have coal down here, don't I? Let me double check, actually. It's faster to do it like that. Oh look, that's a robot respawn. That's inconvenient. Anyway, I have a large coal mine over here. That should do the trick, but alternatively I can just use the free power production, or at least the infinite power production, by using some of the base materials. That seems to be a little bit safer because coal tends to run out quite fast based on my experience with the previous island. As a side note, in this particular episode, I think I'm just going to play a little bit more rather than just show you. The first episode was a little bit more streamlined to give you a good impression of the game, but now let's actually do some playing. And let's see. Let's have some power production up and running like this. Well, that will not do. That is misaligned. So the nice thing is you can relocate buildings within your building area. So that's a very nice thing if you for some reason mess that up. How much power do we have? 16. We need 24. What do we need to build? We need some more plates. Do I have more plates? Or am I going to have to produce some more? I think I have some more over here. Yeah, we actually have plenty of them over here. So let's go and pick those up. One left. Oh, hold on. I am going to be attacked over here. That is not what I was hoping to see. So I am going to have to think about active defenses in a bit. But for the moment, so let's just get this thing powered up. And there we go. What do you need? I have these. Oh, I need some more refined crystals. Well, then I'm just gonna have to do some mining, but I kind of don't want to leave this unprotected. So in that case, what I can do is set up a little box over here. Do I have enough materials to build some more turrets? I'm actually lacking thermoplates as well. Huh. Okay, well in that case, hold on. I've deleted all of my facilities up there, and I'm just going to set up a basic facility over here. Now I know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to produce all the resources I need to produce power, which I think I'm just going to do with these solar power collectors, which means I'm going to need some basic crystals, metal, as well as these energy crystals. And then what I'm going to do is expand from here step by step. Now, in the meanwhile, I also need some defenses. I didn't bring any of my... Nope. I didn't bring any ammo, but I have plenty of ammo on the ship, so I can get that from over there. Well, I had some basic miners up and running, and I'm already getting attacked, so that's a little bit annoying. However, I do know that this enemy came from that direction, so I'm hoping that's going to be consistent, and I can just set up some defenses over here, and then not really have to worry about it. But one thing at a time, so let's make sure we have this up and running. What else do we need? Well, we need some smelters. Okay, here we go. This is some basic plate and refined crystal production. And now let's see. What do I need to build general factories? Well, exactly those two materials, so that's convenient. And this is also going to allow me to make the energy cells. Now, just to remind myself, I need some coal and I need crystal compound in order to make these. Now, I do have coal over here, a large coal mine actually. So yeah, let's get on that. Alright, so let's set up the additional production that we need for the energy crystals, energy cells they're called. We have the coal, I'm just mining it over here. We need some crystal compound as well, so let's set up a factory for that. Yep, just a general factory will do. This is going to require plates and crystals that we already have. Now, just to make sure that we're not using more robots than we need, let's be a little bit efficient about that as well. And let's make a custom behavior for that. We want you to deliver metal plate from A to B, and then we want you to deliver refined... Let me type that a little bit more organized. Refined crystal from A to B. This is basically a double smart mover, very specifically for those two types of resources. I could make this a little bit more flexible so I can reuse this later on as well. So this would be item A. And then this would be item B. Let's try to generate that, see if this makes sense to the AI production. Actually, that went pretty fast. Now again, imagine having to program all of this yourself. It recognized exactly what I wanted to do, so this looks actually pretty good. Now let's save this. Deliver 2 item types, yes. So we are going to deliver some refined crystal from here to here. Then from the same source, we are going to request some metal plates as well. And there we go. Now we have, instead of 2 smart movers, we just have a single mover doing the job too. Now that's pretty efficient. And then I need another mover to just move stuff from here to here. And then we should have energy cells in production really soon. Of course, this will take a second to actually start producing. But yeah, that should be it now. This is actually going to produce more crystal compound than we need. But that's going to be fine for the moment. I just need to make sure this has somewhere to go. So let's just set up a box with a little robot to make sure the energy crystals have somewhere to go as well. Now let me double check. Do I now have everything in production that I need to produce solar power? Yes, I do. What else do I need over here? Well, actually, we needed some of that thermoplate, right? Because we are getting attacked and we want to build ourselves some turrets because I don't want to have to defend this thing myself the entire time. What do I need in order to make thermoplate? I think we just needed some crystals for that, right? We can either make it in the advanced factory. Now, refresh my memory. What do we need in order for that to happen? We need some helium, as well as crystal shards. Did we have helium over here? Was that the resource that we had over there? Yeah, this is actually a helium geyser. That is super convenient because we have crystals here as well. So it's just gonna take me a second to set this up. And there we go. Now I'm running low on power, but we can fix that in a few seconds now by just building some more power production. It was kind of what we were trying to do anyway. So let's set that up like so. And can we add another one over here? Not quite, but I can fit it in over there. What am I running out of now? I need some of those crystals, but I should have plenty of those now in this box over here. There we go. So we can set up all the power that we need. Now, I wish I kind of had some defenses I could set up that were just shooting lasers at my enemies. But for the moment, this will have to do. We are producing helium over here. We are starting to produce some thermoplate over here now as well. And the thermoplate is going to go into this box. And that is very convenient because I am already tired of having to shoot at these enemies manually. Okay, now I actually have some defense over here, but I don't have bullets for that thing. So let me just hop onto my ship again and grab some of that from my ship. Now, 100 ammo is actually going to last me for a very long time, I think. But it's not gonna last forever, and as far as I know, you can't stop the enemies from spawning. So we're gonna have to deal with that at some point. Now, for the moment, that should take care of the couple of enemies that are running in. There's not like large waves or anything like that. But let me think. What do I need to actually build some ammunition? So we have a general factory, we have a weapons factory. This is where we make our ammunition. We have all the stuff that we need to do that. And what do we need in order to make ammo? We need some of that gunpowder, and we need some plates, all of which we do have. Okay, so let's just have a single smelter making some gunpowder, and then, oh look, a robot just got destroyed, so that's working like intended. Then let's have a weapons factory next to that. That is then going to make the ammo, and then all I need to do is make sure we have some... Ooh, that was a couple of them actually showing up over there. Now, my turrets can take a few hits, so that's not a big problem, but as you can see, we are definitely going to run out of ammo if I don't actively produce it. So let's start producing that over here. Let's start producing that over here, and then I need a smart mover to move some metal plates from over here to over here. And then last but not least, I need a mover to move the ammunition that I'm making over here into the box over there. Now, of course, none of this will work if it's not powered. So let's do that as well. And just because I can't stand this, let's relocate this so it's a little bit better aligned with everything else that I'm doing. Now, we don't actually need this one. And let's see, how's my double plate production going? I actually made another one for that. Yeah, we have 15 thermal plate now. So hopefully that means I should be able to build a second turret over here. And then we can make you... Well, actually, I prefer having a dedicated mover for every single turret, just to make sure that there's always ammunition coming in. That means it can never mess up. Alternatively, what you can do is set this up with a behavior that it signals that it needs ammunition, and then have a mover do it. Only transport stuff basically if any of these turrets signals that it needs ammunition. Okay, I actually want to try this mostly because I haven't actually done that yet. So let's see, let's create a new behavior. If inventory is empty, signal red. Does that work? I don't know. Let's try it out. It should be able to see its own stuff, right? Yeah, if a total amount of stored items is equal to 0, yep, it's gonna be red. So that should be fine. Then this one needs to have the same behavior. Let me actually destroy these movers for a moment so we can test this out. So if I take this out, can I take this out? I can't actually take out the ammunition. That's a shame. Well, I can test it out in a different way. Let's just build another turret. Maybe over here. And let's assign that the same behavior. Yeah, it is now signaling red. So that means that if any of these will be red, then I want this to be supplied. And if I have a mover over here, then I want you to have a behavior that reads into that. So if turret A signals red, deliver item A from warehouse to turret A. Now let me copy this. Then this is going to be turret B instead. And this is going to be turret C. Will this work? I don't know. Let's try it out. Well, it looks like it understood what I was going for. So deliver item A to red turrets. Yeah, that sums it up. Okay, so if this one signals red, we want you to deliver ammo from this place. Then if this one is red or that one is red, we're going to do the exact same thing. And look at that, it's already delivering ammo. Now this one is still red because it can take up 2. Now this is going to turn into a neutral position. Oh man, this is beautiful. And this is why I really like... Oh, well, we're going to be able to test this out straight away. Yeah, it's going to resupply that one. Is it now going to resupply that one as well? Yep. Okay, this is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And this is why I so much like this AI system in this game. It makes setting up something like that so much more simple. And as you can see, we actually have quite a few turrets needed for defense over here, because we have pretty decent waves coming in. None of this should be threatening as long as we have ammunition. But yeah, we definitely need to make sure we are producing that non-stop. Now this is going to be producing at a fairly decent rate. You actually don't need that much ammunition to defend yourself. So all in all, I think we should be doing just fine for a very long time like that, unless the waves get significantly larger. Anyway, this also means that I now have everything I need to start mass producing my power production. So let me fill up the remaining area with some tower powers. Okay, so I have some power set up now, and my theory is that the enemies are spawning from these doors. And if that's the case, then some other enemies that were coming from on top were coming from over there. So that means I kind of need to set up some sort of defensive line over here as well. Let me see, can I tell where... Oh, well, basically all the building spaces where I can set up my factory are going to be attacked. Now, I'm thinking let's do this. Let's set up a warehouse over here. And then maybe add another couple of turrets. Can I place those down here? Yeah, I can, just not everywhere apparently. I have some ammunition, so I can put that in the box. I can set up a mover. Just for the moment, let's just keep it simple. That should hopefully take out any enemies spawning from that direction. Now, the main reason I'm setting it up like this is that this should allow me to start building kind of a power highway all the way down to my main facility over here. Now, I'm also going to have some movers move some ammunition over here. And I'm thinking maybe we should give this a behavior that whenever it drops, let's say, below 50 ammo, that the mover is going to start resupplying it again, so that we make sure that we never run out of ammo, but we also make sure that we just don't draw this box completely empty. In order to make that box or that warehouse be a little bit more smart, I also made a more generic prompt that is going to allow me to set a specific limit for the inventory rather than just when it's empty. So this is going to do exactly that, and let's save this. Signal red if inventory is below X. I really like how it comes up with these names as well. So what is the value going to be for X? 50? Sounds about right. So now this is signaling red, and then all I need to do is have a mover over here. And this mover is, I think we already had a signal, yeah. Move item on signal from hub. So if this is red, move item from, where is it? Here to all the way over here. And apparently we are already below 50. Yep, we are, because we just resupplied all of these towers. I set this mover to supply all of these towers. So yeah, I think this is all working very nicely. Now, with all of that done, let's set up our little power highway. Well, it looks a little bit funky, but it works. I also just realized that we have some natural gas over here, which I could use to fuel a couple of power generators. Now, it feels like these guys are just ignoring my little thing over here. Now, the good thing is they are also ignoring the power turrets over here. Let me just follow them for a second to see... Oh, hold on. If they will actually just continue to move like I want them to. Hold on, I'm kind of stuck here. Hold on, hold on. Oh, this is a problem. There we go. Okay, I got myself unstuck now. Did they attack anything of importance? Doesn't look like it. So they do seem to kind of gravitate to your largest facility. Or, I don't know. But anyway, it's good to know that they don't just attack at sight anything they see. All of that said, let's continue to build in this direction, because I want to know what this big guy has to tell me, and we should have plenty of power. I think, yeah, we have 50 power left to spare, so that should be enough, right? Let's find out. Hello? Oh, you need to charge up for a second. Okay, that is done, and now we're gonna talk to the automaton. Power on self-test complete. Hixie speaking. How can I help? Wow, okay. Hi, Hixie. Nice to meet you. I'm Mira from the Pioneer Academy. Nice to meet you. What can I do for you? Are you really an automaton? I didn't think they could talk back to me. I am an artificial intelligence built for CERN. Automaton is a close approximation of what I am, but I lack the motor functions required to move. Oh, we actually have dialogue options here. What are you talking about? Stands for European Organization for Nuclear Research. That abbreviation doesn't quite match with this. Isn't it like Central European Research, something like that? I don't know. It's definitely not this though. At CERN, we study the fundamental laws that govern the universe. I saw that word in the archive on that dusty old map, so this really is the place. And this CERN thing, is it an academy too? Not exactly. It's a research facility with tens of thousands of people working together to uncover the mysteries of existence. Would you like to join us when you grow up? But I'm not a child. I see. If you are a parent, we have summer camps where your children can attend to learn more about what CERN does and even take part in some science-themed activities. Okay, well, we can actually repeat that if we want, or we can just ask where we are. We are at the visitor center where discovery happens. Sounds like the name of a secret guild. Oh, it starts with a large hadron collider. Essentially, it's a giant underground tunnel where fundamental particles collide, allowing scientists to study the outcomes. Now, as a side note, by the way, I really like that these locations are based on actual existing locations in the real world, or at least where they used to be in this particular world. Just a nice little touch. Okay. Well, I had some wild hobbies. It's one of our greatest inventions. For the past few years, the LHC has mainly been used for the Project Tower. Well, what's that then? According to United Nations Security Council Resolution 8950, the European Union increased CERN's budget by 300%. Work then began on Project Tower. And the information is missing. Okay. The data concerning Project Tower is stored in the east wing of the LHC. Power and data links have been severed. To recover the information, the connection must be restored. I have a feeling that's going to be my next project. Do not worry, cadet. Please accept this device to aid you on your journey. Oh, what did we just get? Fascinating device. I can write on it with my finger, but it also seems to be writing back. What is this thing? It's got pictures, images, a sort of diagram. It looks like it's how to build something. Oh, okay, so we just unlocked Manufacture 2. That's kind of cool. And we now have an advanced factory. Okay. So now what? Can we talk some more? Okay, now this is all stuff that we already did. Okay, so I think we have to do some more exploring, because now we have a little icon on the map over there. Well, it's over here. We can already see it, even though the fog of war is still on. And that means we're going to have to get through this particular gate. This is going to require even more power, so let's set that up like so. I assume the robots will still leave this alone, hopefully. We'll just need to make sure everything is connected up. And do we still have enough power? Yep, we do. I might be inclined to make some use of this as well. I'm just not entirely sure if these robots are going to bypass these turrets. Then that might be a problem. So if I really need the power, I can use the gas, but if not, let's just leave it be and let's open the gate and do some more exploring. Now there's probably going to be bots in here. What's this? More coal. That's at least interesting. I am gonna scout thoroughly, because there tend to be these nice little boxes over here. This is interesting. It looks like we are supposed to be able to go here, but for the moment this is frozen. I can't click in anything here either. But it definitely looks like we're supposed to go here at some point. Oh, hold on. As you can see, even though there is combat in this game, it is currently not completely difficult, and I think that's a nice way to have it. It's there to make sure you don't just explore willy-nilly, but it's also not hard enough to really challenge you in a way that is going to ruin your fun if you're mostly here for the factory game. We have some more helium over here, but other than that, ooh, look at that. What is that? It's all under the ice. I'm a little nervous walking on this ice like this. I am gonna click the thingy, don't worry, but I'm just checking out if there's any enemies over here that are going to interfere. Huh. Is this already the entire Europe island? It feels like some more stuff should be opening up. But I might be wrong with about that. I don't know. Let me check this out. So, let's explore the Grand Archives. You stand atop a frozen lake, some strange structures buried beneath the ice. A statue at a distance casts its gaze upon you. As you approach the structure, you realize it's fitted with electrical connections yearning to be powered on. Okay, let's examine this thing. It looks like it's out of power as well. That's a theme for this island, for sure. How am I supposed to get the frozen books out of the lake? You won't need to retrieve physical copies, cadet. The Grand Archive is a digital repository. Once you restore power, you can access the data from below and have it printed and hauled away. What the? How are you talking to me? Through your device, cadet. It allows two-way communication with compatible systems. So somehow they were able to make automated robots, but they didn't invent the radio? I don't know. Anyway, what do we need to do here? Oh, we just need to power this? Ooh. Overloading allows the building to manufacture items faster at the cost of consuming more power. So what can we make here? Ah, okay. So we make archive threads over here, and that is actually what we need in order, if I remember correctly, to unlock the next research pack. Yeah, we just need one. We also need some of that other research that we have, and then we can start making this research pack 3, which then needs the archive threads along with some helium. Okay, okay, okay. Well, oh, we can actually build on here, and this is not a hostile zone, so we're not going to be attacked here. That's actually really convenient. What's a little less convenient is the fact that it looks like I might actually get attacked over here if I build anything. But anyway, we're just gonna have to figure that out. Let's start building some power lines. Okay, well, power lines are up and running, and we're now producing the archive threads over here. We're actually going to be producing 10 of these at the same time, and I'm kind of wondering if this is not going to melt the ice, but I guess we're going to find out. Also, it seems that these patches don't actually connect to each other, so I wasn't able to build a power line all the way over here, especially this jump is too big for a single power pole to actually make, so I don't know, I just had to build some additional power infrastructure over here, and I keep iterating on the use of AI in terms of making this more efficient. So what I've done now is, because this is quite far away from my main base, what I've done is I set up this warehouse to flag a red signal once the inventory becomes below 15. Then this mover is going to unload this truck over here that is going to be driving back and forth whenever it has 0 inventory. So basically this is going to buffer 24 over here, then this is going to resupply that. So I don't have single movers running up and down to my base all the time, but just little batches of trucks every now and then. And of course these are still signaling red whenever their inventory is empty, so I'm doing that in the same way. All in all, this is a lot more efficient and just avoids stockpiling things outside of my main base. So the actual stockpiling of ammunition is still taking place, but it's taking place where it is safest at the moment. Oh, by the way, I actually ran out of coal over here, so I am now mining it over here, so I moved this defensive line up a little bit as well. Okay, so another interesting mechanic, actually, let me show you, is that we can overload the Grand Archive. So this is a manual overload, and this is going to request additional power. Now, currently I don't have this power, but I am going to build some additional power infrastructure over here so I can actually start producing these archive threads a little more quick. Okie dokie, we have all the archive threads that we needed, and now we need to research electromagnetism, and for that we need electromagnetism research packs. That's quite a mouthful. And that will unlock an electric power pole, an advanced power pole that can connect with more structures and has a longer range. Okay, I guess that's why we couldn't bridge the gap, because we were intended to use these things for that. We also have a battery charging station. That's interesting. So let's take a look at that in the technology tree. Can we check this out? What does this do? There is 0 description of what that does. I'm guessing we're getting to the end of where we're intended to play. But yeah, anyway, let's get some of that up running. I guess I have to unlock this for that. Yep, and we are gonna need some of the green ones. I don't think I brought any with me, so I might have to travel back to my first base. Well then, let's turn around the airship and go back to our previous base. Now, honestly, what I probably should have done is make sure I keep supplying the train station over there with all of that research. I'm also kind of wondering, do I need to transfer everything back to the train station in America at some point, or can I just, I don't know, shortcut that in some way? If we do need to bring everything back to the train station, that means we're going to need more airships. Well, we're still under attack, but it seems that my defenses are working like intended, so that's nice. Although it's cutting it closer than I would have liked, to be fair. But yeah, all in all, I didn't actually participate in that combat at all, and we are still fine. But still, let's double up a little bit on these turrets. It's better safe than sorry, and let's disembark. Now, the interesting thing is this means that my ship will get refueled instantly, so that's kind of nice. I should also probably make sure I pick up some more ammunition while I'm at it, so, you know, we have plenty of ammunition on the actual ship. But most importantly, I'm gonna set a couple of movers to supply the train hub over here with all the research that I have available. Speaking of research, by the way, the other islands just keep moving on while you're off and doing other things, so as you can see, I have plenty of research waiting for me over here. So with the research pack 3 unlocked, I am gonna need to use my helium along with the archive threads in order to actually make this stuff. So that's one thing we need to start doing on the other island. But let's check out some of the other recipes that we now have. So this is gonna take a whole ton of basic research, but I shouldn't have too much issues by supplying that. And Combat 2 is gonna give me a defender bot. That's interesting. So if an enemy is detected, attack it. Huh. Interesting. We also get a new type of ammo, so this is dynamite and thermoplate. Okay, that's interesting. So more powerful ammo. We have a swift mover, heavy-duty automatons that can rapidly transfer items. This is going to require something I don't have access to yet, so another type of research. Flying movers, same thing. This looks honestly really interesting. That's gonna open up quite a few more things. And yeah, that's it. We still need to work on electromagnetism before we can open up a whole bunch of other things in the technology tree. And actually, research pack number 4 is pretty cheap to get as well, and that is going to open up a couple of other things. Huh, interesting. Okay, while I was away, I produced a huge amount of archive thread already. Now, I do have helium over here, but I can't actually build on the ice. So I think I'm just going to import the helium that I've been producing over here, and we have some additional helium here as well. Well, either way it works. I think that we do need to move up this defensive line a little bit to over here, so we have some room to work with. Okay, something like this. I now have the truck coming over here that is going to supply the archive threads. It's supplying 50 at a time, just to make sure that if it does get destroyed on its way, it doesn't lose too many value materials. And I transported a whole bunch of them by hand because I was moving up and down anyway. So that means that I now have 2 of these advanced factories starting to produce some of that, what is it, electromagnetism research packs. Wow, that's still a mouthful. And as you can see, we already have 21. How many did we need? Well, let me see. In order to unlock the next pack, only about 40. And we are going to need only 30 for the combat drones. So yeah, this shouldn't take too long. Okay, we have 70 now, so that should be enough for both the electromagnetism and combat drone research. So I'm gonna go hop all the way back and bring this to the train station. And the nice thing is, while I was driving back and forth, or flying back and forth, I guess, my drones filled up the train station for the research, so that's very convenient. So we can now unlock the defender bot. We'll check that out in a second, but before we do that, let me go back into this and let's make sure we unlock the electromagnetism as well. So let's put that in, and there we go. Now we should be able to make an electric power pole as well as a battery charging station. A battery charging station without any spaces in between the words. And ooh, we are now supposed to go and discover Africa. That seems like a fun place to be. It's probably a lot warmer than Europe has been so far. Oh man, guys, I am just looking at the technology tree over here, and this gets me super excited. As it looks like, we have a radar available, a structure that passively scans the surrounding enemy for enemies and provides early warning of incoming threats. So I guess we can use that in combination with the combat bot, so we can kind of send our defense force to that. We have the Discover Africa thing here, so we just need to supply some research, and that should be fairly straightforward in order to, you know, actually go to that continent. But we also have Discover Asia in the technology tree, so we could also go there already because we have all the materials that we need for that. On top of that, where was it? Oh, here we have the signal beacon, which is apparently a thing we can place in an area and can be used to divide and plan production districts. So we can have something that, for example, I don't know, checks for how many resources there are in a certain area, and then redistributes my bots to that resource whenever I need to. I don't know. Remote mode also is available now, which allows me to issue commands to my structures and automatons in other continents and airships. Speaking of airships, where was it? Yeah, airship limit increase. Increases the amount of airships you can build by 1. I'm actually wondering, I don't know what the second tier of this is going to cost, but again, this is very affordable. What's over here? The amphibious player vehicle allows the Pioneer's monowheel to traverse water. Now, that's something we cannot actually unlock, so getting a little bit ahead of myself, but knowing that is on the thing is going to be very interesting, because I think there's several places. I'm not sure if it holds for this particular island, but there's likely going to be places where we cannot traverse the water just yet. But we might be able to get to interesting places. I don't think that's probably on the first island though. Although we can actually cross over in places like here, for example, so that's going to be fun. But anyway, yeah, there is a ton more things to unlock. And remember, guys, this is only a pre-alpha build. This is a playtest build, so the reason that, for example, this submit feedback button is up here in the front is just because it makes it very easy to actually give feedback. I've already put in, I think, about a dozen or so suggestions based on playing, not because things were broken or bad, just because I thought, well, maybe if you change things up a little bit, that might be interesting. Also wondering why I can click this ship, so that might be blocking this resource. I don't know. There is a lot more to discover, and I can't wait to see where they bring this game. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Remember, there's a whole lot of things that we haven't even seen yet. So all in all, I'm really excited about this game. I had a blast playing through it this week, and I hope you will enjoy the demo as well. Don't forget to wishlist the game on Steam if you haven't done so already, so you can kind of keep in touch with what its development state is currently at. And I am very likely going to cover more of this in the future once we actually get a build that is not a pre-alpha build. And make sure you subscribe if you want to see more of that as well. Either way, if you're still here, you're awesome, and I do hope to catch you in the next one.